tubes. Another day in paradise. And we sure have the climate for it. Let me tell you. It's humid as all you know. I can't even say how humid it is. It's just humid. But I'm not too sure how this is gonna work. I turn the camera or phone camera, whatever, around and trying it with the front camera versus the back camera, and we're gonna see how it picks up versus the other did, and also with the audio. I'm in the process of finding a new phone case for this phone, at least until I can afford to actually buy a camera. And yeah, it's just one thing after another after another after another. But anyway, you guys have heard plenty of me talking shit about my problems and whatnot, so we're not even gonna go there. The coolest thing that has happened today got ready to start to cut grass, and fired the lawnmower up and backed it out and got in a position as far as about to be going on my way. Well, I make a pass. I start from like this end of the driveway coming back this way, and my mom stops me long enough to point down on the ground, and I see this little black round object. I'm like, at first I'm thinking, wow, it's a little itty bitty turtle. And sure enough, it was a baby alligator snapper. So that brings me to the point of saying, watch where you step when you're walking around your yard. Watch what you run over when you're cutting your grass. You don't never know. And we're talking small, tiny. A little bit bigger than a quarter. Almost, I'd say maybe about the size of a $50. American, that is. I don't know what Canadian's version of a $50 would be. But the U.S. people, they know what, how big an American $50 is. This is a big ass coin. But I'm not gonna sit out here and hang around too much because it's too damn hot. It's humid, and rather than you guys sit here watching me yawn and then sweat to death, I'm gonna go in the house and finish up some stuff in there, and take a shower and go to bed, I suppose. 6:45 comes awfully early. The only other thing that I can talk about that's come to mind is I want people, just general people, who have a point in time when their car is getting, certain age or certain miles or certain whatever, or just starting to have some small issues as far as problems. Please be aware of where you take your vehicle to. Just be aware. Shop around. Don't just, I don't care how well you know somebody who works there. Shop around first, because you may be paying more for one thing one place than you would somewhere else. And what I mean by that is that there was this lady, elderly lady. She was on a fixed income. Excuse me for a minute. She's on a fixed income. And with that being said, her money is limited per month. She may get anywhere from, I don't know, $500 to $1,000 a month. And that's all she's got to live off of for that entire month. Whether it be 28 days, 30 days, or 31 days. point is that she brings the car to us, needs a rack and pinion put in. Now, I don't have no idea how much the rack and pinion is for her little car. And I think it was a little, I want to say it was a 4-door Ford Escort. Which, most of you know that if anything as far as Fords go, that they've done away with the Escort and the Focus pretty much took that over. Well, the thing about it is that even with her paying for the parts, paying for the labor, paying for an oil change, the total ended up coming up being like $864. Now tell me how a little old lady, because God knows if it had been my grandma, I'd have been hot. Tell me how a little old lady on a fixed income could afford to pay that kind of money. Now granted, she may have been married to someone who was in the service, or she may get some sort of a retirement check from that person, her spouse. They may have had a pension or something. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just saying. How is it that a little old lady would be able to afford that kind of money? So this pretty much goes for women. There's some men out there that aren't mechanically savvy, so they don't quite understand the price and the price you're paying for parts, the price you're paying for the labor, and the price you could be paying. Well, this goes back to the whole Joe Blow and whomever else you may take it to. Be careful who you take it to, and make sure you shop around, because you may pay anywhere between $300 to have it done with parts included, or you may pay over $1,000 to have it done, parts included. Just be careful. Now, that's not the first case that I've heard about some of the guys down there where I work at, kind of getting over on people. And it's not dealerships only, it's several places. There's a lot of places that sells parts, there's a lot of places that fixes cars, and there's a lot of crooked mechanics and technicians out there. So, if you have a family member that's in the business and you think they've got a straight head on them, you might want to second guess that thought or whatever, because in the end they may not be as straightforward as you think they are. With that being said, my girlfriend bought her car from her uncle. Now granted, she needed a car and her credit's no good. She could have went to a half a dozen places that fixes your credit as far as you buying a vehicle. So she thought that she was going to get a deal. And I'm not talking bad about her uncle, and I'm not talking bad about the car. The car had a lot of miles, and as far as what she paid for the car, do I think it's worth it? No. I think she, may have gotten the car for a couple thousand less, give or take. I know with my truck had just roughly around 100 and, what was it, 100 and, God, it's been so long ago now. I want to say it had around 130,000 miles on it when I got it. It actually may be less than that, I'm not sure. But the point is now it's got 173 and it's a 98. Hers is an 03 and it's got over 230 some thousand miles on it. So yeah, you're talking about quite a bit of miles for a newer vehicle. But it is the way it is, I guess. But yeah, as I said, just be careful where you go. Make sure you shop around and don't let nobody beat you in the head over something small, because there's just no way. There's no way. There's no way that I would have paid that kind of money for a rack and pinion. I don't care how hard it was to put on. Parts is one thing, the labor is another. You guys have a good one. We'll catch you later.